Hey friends, Black Shirt Worm here today, wearing another black shirt, but this time our black shirt is representative of the mourning that we're going to be doing for Bungie's missed opportunity with several of the exotic changes that they got. So we'll get into that in just a second, but first I want to apologize to Iker the Rain King. I know, buddy, we said we were going to do a stasis video today, but that was before I actually saw this blog post come out. So we're going to touch on this now. We'll do the stasis video tomorrow, so keep your eyes peeled for it. However, of course, if you missed it for whatever reason, Bungie released a long blog post basically previewing everything that they're changing with exotic armors next season. Yeah, there's let's see, I want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 8 in each class, 8 in each class that are receiving some tuning, mostly buffs, but there are some nerfs, and there's some total reworks as well. But I wanted to talk today about why I think that Bungie has missed the mark on some of these. And not only why they missed the mark, but why, once again, hunters are Bungie's least favorite class in the game, or so it seems. But yeah, let's go ahead and get on over here. Let me pull this up so y'all can kind of see follow along with what we're doing here. But for Hunter, of course, the changed exotics, we have Sealed Ahamkara Grasps, Athras Embrace, Oathkeeper, Raiju's Harness, Radiant Dance Machine, Stompies, and Mask of Backers. Now, Hunter's the class I want to focus on the most when I say, when we're talking about the missed opportunity. And again, I want to make it very clear, like, we're not saying that these are bad changes. Like, all these changes are really, really good. They are really changing how these exotics work, and they're making these exotics much, much better. Unfortunately, I don't feel like, I feel like, especially with Hunter, they missed the mark. And they missed it by like this much, right? They're all good, but they could have been better, and they should have been better. But yeah, the one I want to, first of all, I want to focus on a couple of these. Like I said, we're not going to go over these specifically, but I want to focus on a couple of them and where I think Bungie missed the mark. First of all, Sealed Ahamkara's Grasp. Now, with Sealed Ahamkara Grasp, this is one in my video from a couple weeks ago that we complained about was arguably one of the worst exotics on Hunter, right? Sealed Ahamkara's Grasp, basically what it did before is when you got a melee, it would reload your equipped weapon. And I think it did something else, but I can't remember. But they basically changed it so that this exotic will now reload all your weapons when you defeat a target with a powered melee. And for 5 seconds after dealing melee damage, you get increased movement speed and jump height. Let me be clear. Here's what I mean by Bungie missed the mark. They could have done a lot with this exotic, right? They could have made it, something really, really good, really cool. They could have given an extra melee charge, a bunch of stuff like that. But they did this. Good change, right? But my question, I guess, to the player base is, why on earth would I use Sealed Ahamkara's Grasps over Dragon Shadow? Dragon Shadow, when you dodge, reloads all your equipped weapons, right? And you get faster handling speed for those weapons for 10 seconds. Sealed Ahamkara's Grasp is like a budget version of the Dragon Shadow, or it's going to be, it's going to be a budget version of Dragon Shadow. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, Bungie missed the mark. Like, they could have done more with it, but no, they made it a worse version of Dragon Shadow. And hell, Dragon Shadow you can use on literally any subclass. Sealed Ahamkara's Grasps, you can't even use on Void, because getting a kill with those smoke grenades, especially in high level content, is very, very difficult. But that's one of the examples of Bungie missing the mark. Another one here is Mask of Backers. Mask of Backers is a very unique exotic. It changes the way that you play, and Bungie had the potential to make it something that would be a lot more fun, right? However, they didn't do that. Okay, now what I mean by more fun, okay, Mask of Backers users have been asking for, since basically Lightfall dropped, hey Bungie, can you please just remove the pause on the cooldown that you get after dodging while light shift is active, right? You can take away light shift, the damage boost, all that stuff. Just give us the ability to do the teleport and not have it stuck on a cooldown. That's what I wanted to see from it. I didn't think they would change Mask of Backers, but when I saw Mask of Backers on the list, I was like, ooh, this is exciting. And then I was severely let down. And I think that a lot of other people were as well, because Mask of Backers is not, I don't want to say it's not something that people, like using, but like the damage boost that you get is irrelevant, and it's nowhere near the best. You can do the same thing with surge mods, blah blah blah. But yeah, that's a missed mark here. Let's see here, what else. We'll look through here. Oh, Of course, the list: Sealed Hamkar's Grasp, Arthur's Embrace, sorry, Oathkeeper, Raiju's Harness, Radiant Dance Machine, Stompies, Mask of Backers. You know which exotic, 2 exotics I didn't see on there? I did not see Ophidius Spade, which is really not in a strong spot, but more importantly, I didn't see Blight Ranger on there. Yeah, I did not see Blight Ranger. Blight Ranger is, and I said it in my video, in previous videos, is in my opinion the worst hunter exotic. I don't think I've ever seen somebody using it, not even for fashion. You know, sometimes the start of Crucible games, like people are like, why are you wearing that? Like, that doesn't make any sense, but it looks really good. Not even for that, because it's a terrible, terrible exotic. It has 0 utility in PvE, like none at all. Like the damage, the bonus damage that you get for reflecting projectiles is laughable at best. Like, you know, a rocket launcher can do more damage than every single attack reflected back at an enemy. So, you know, why didn't they mention it? I don't know. I really can't fathom it. Like, I know that the data has got to say, hey, Blight Ranger is not performing well. The memes, the, you know, social media, like, I'm sure that everybody watching this video will probably agree that Blight Ranger sucks. Even if you're not a hunter main, okay? Blight Ranger is terrible. And it's got no place in the game in its current state. And they had a chance to at least make it viable, but they didn't. Same thing with Ophidius Spade, which Ophidius Spade is a little bit better. You know, the ability to carry a second throwing knife is nice, but again, like, they could have done more with it instead of changing something like, I don't know, here, like Oathkeeper. Like, Oathkeeper, not the best exotic, not the worst exotic. It helps bows, which is great. I think, in fact, I think it's gonna be a menace now in the Crucible. Like, well, it says bow gains a bonus damage against combatants, so maybe it's not gonna work in the Crucible. But, you know, like, I don't know, they missed the mark by not doing, especially Blight Ranger. Like, that's disappointing. But I want to move off of Hunter real quick, and I want to talk about Titan now, because Titan is much better. Like, I looked at the Titan list and I was let down by the Hunter list. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was let down. I was like, okay, this is about to be a bunch of the same. Yeah, definitely not. We have some phenomenal changes in here, okay? And again, I'm not going to go over them all. You can pause the video and read them on screen, or you can head over to Bungie's website and look at it. But Point Contact, Cannon Brace, No Backup Plan, Second Chance, Stronghold, Eternal Warrior, Khepri's Horn, Path of the Burning Steps, and Dune Marchers all got changes. Now, of all those, the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I mentioned here, Point Contact, No Backup, Second Chance, Stronghold, Eternal Warriors, and Khepri's Horn, these are wonderful changes. In fact, with Eternal Warrior here, it's almost like Bungie, you know, took our idea that we had yesterday, which is you know, this idea that, hey, get a damage boost. You know, I think yesterday we said you know, get an arc damage boost while your super is on cooldown, or while your super is charging, and then once you get it charged, it goes away. Bungie did that, but they gave it the same thing as Path of Burning Steps, where as you get arc kills, you get stacks, you know, of increased damage for arc weapons and stuff like that, which is, it's great. You know, I was actually really impressed by that. But yeah, all these exotics, like, you read through them here and they're really good. Now there is Dune Marchers, which basically they reduce the range of the chain damage from 20 to 12 meters, and the PvP damage from 85 to 80. This also, I think, was definitely a warranted nerf. The amount of times I have been killed or have killed somebody that I didn't even know was there is kind of insane. So I think this is a very appropriate change. Now, the one thing that I'm disappointed in Bungie, right? I'm very disappointed, is with Path of the Burning Steps. Path of the Burning Steps has, it's always been a good exotic, not the best, but it's always been really good. And this here, they're talking about it like this is a buff, I guess. This is a nerf, right? Basically, it goes from stacking up to 40% more damage at times 4 stacks of Firewalker to now only 25, because they're using this surge mod system, the tier 4 surge mod system. And then 6% in PvP, which I think in PvP you get up to 20%. So nerf on both fronts. I'm really not happy about that. It does say down here, while at the tier 4 damage bonus, solar kills refresh the bonus duration. So maybe this is the buff right here. Once you get to tier 4, any solar kill will grant you you know, a refresh. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Will refresh that that duration, because currently, you know, to keep it up, it's like every other kill or every third kill it'll refresh the timer. So maybe this is a buff. I'm not feeling this one at all, but everything else in here I think is great. And then we go to Warlock, and it's the same thing on Warlock. Like Warlock got some, oh man, sorry, they got some good changes in here. Okay, they got some really good changes. Chromatic Fire, for example, I'll let y'all read that right here, but Chromatic Fire got a great change. Vesper Radius got a great change. Sanguine Alchemy, which that was one that we had mentioned was the worst exotic in the game, arguably. Maybe right next to Blight Ranger. Like, I don't know if I'd put Blight Ranger above Sanguine Alchemy, or, you know, blah blah blah. But this is a really good change that they made to it here, and I'll probably start using Sanguine Alchemy going forward. Same thing, Mantle of Battle Harmony, Claws of Ahamkara, not as flashy, but still a good change. Ophidian Aspect, they removed the extended melee range, which I think is necessary, you know, was appropriate. And then Starfire Protocol, of course, got a nerf. But everything else in here, it looking really good. I'm really liking this. The Promethean Spur, because we had a build with Promethean Spur that was really fun, but it was just kind of weak by the fact that the way that Promethean Spur works. Now they're changing it so it's a little bit, I guess, easier to use. Again, though, great change here. So I think that they hit the head on the nail with Warlock and Titan changes. But again, why Hunters? Like, all the changes I'm reading here for Hunter, they just feel really weak, you know? And I know, of course, we're gonna have to wait till we get in game, you know, to test them out and see how they feel. You know, Athras Embrace, like if we're talking, you know, a weighted knife that cools down in, like, you know, 8 seconds, heck yeah, like that's gonna be fantastic. You know, Oathkeeper, you know, if it's fully drawn, you get like 100% damage increase, heck yeah, that's gonna be great. But I think that Hunters, they missed the mark on Hunters so bad, and it is really unfortunate with that. In terms of Titan, I also think that they did miss an opportunity to make some exotics better. For example, Mask of the Quiet One, they could have made it so much better. Like in our exotic rework video that we did a couple weeks ago, we talked about Mask of the Quiet One and a wonderful change that they could make to it that would make it really strong, but also balanced, you know. But whatever, they didn't want to do it, I guess. It does say down here that's you know, they're going to be making more changes, that they've started on the next round of changes, so hopefully we see those in the next one. But I think this one for Hunters and Warlocks, for Titans and Warlocks, great stuff here. But for Hunters, I think Hunters kind of once again get to the shaft. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like how do you feel about the Hunter changes? Like, I mean, obviously, like I said, they are good. All the changes they made are good, but I don't think that they're as good as they could have been, and I don't think they picked the exotics that they should have been picking to change, right? Anyways, yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Of course, if you like the video, drop a like. It helps the channel out a lot. And hey, sub for more daily Destiny content, because we make daily videos, blah blah. And hey, do me a favor, watch this video you see on the end screen here, because for whatever reason, YouTube thinks you might like it. And guys, that's it for me, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye for now.